is what I'm saying. I do not have an issue to record on another day.
Yeah, but we said we do it today and then it's done, and not because it's done, but we have to stick a bit to our talking appointments.
Yeah, of course, but the thing is, when the energy is not there, then we can do something else.
Yeah, but we already moved it from Wednesday to today.
I know, but forcing it is not necessarily becomes the quality we want to represent. Let's do it and we will see it when we post it or not.
Yes. Good.
All Lights On, a podcast about equal parenting by a triathlon mom and a rockstar dad juggling everyday's life.
Welcome.
János!
Hi, János.
Hi, Elena. How are you doing?
I'm good. And how are you?
I'm good now because I could reunite my family. And this was very important to me.
That's good. So this is already now 1 week almost.
We are 1 week ago together again, and we were separated for 2 weeks. But let's jump even more back, because I had to go through in such a torture, because I had to go through a radiotherapy because of my condition. And prior to that, I needed to go through a diet.
Yeah.
Which is basically, the goal is to lower the iodine intake, and this is like firsthand reducing everything which is smoked, everything which is salted with sea salt, because that contains iodine, and no seafood, rice.
So everything you really love, you had to...
Meat. Yeah, I had to... I didn't eat for 2 weeks or something. And there was Easter.
In the last episodes, we opened 2 topics. We went already, for the first episodes, very, very deep into our life. And we had one update about your health condition. There we want to dive in, because this is how life continues, right? So we got actually very fast the information that you have a spot for your treatment, which is this radiotherapy, directly after Easter.
Exactly.
And for this therapy, it's radioactive iodine. You have to have this diet so that it's easier substituted in your body. You got this information, you asked Perplexity, you were very strict. I mean, this is a character property of yours, that when you are given a rule, it has to be followed. And there was Easter.
Sorry to interrupt, but there's a fun fact. The day when I was let go, there was my friend. I think if he was a nurse, and then I was asking, like, do I need to do this diet for the next control when I come in a half a year? And he said, oh yeah, but you do not have to be like, you were very low binding and following everything how it's supposed to be. But like, trust me, many patients of us doesn't do anything and the treatment goes well. And I was like, are you kidding me now?
In the context of that, we were with my parents, and for these holidays there's always special food and always very good food, but it always contains all the things you could not really eat, so you had to
The hardest point was like Easter breakfast, and there's a fully decorated table. In the middle there's like these butchery goods and cheese and so on, and that was like a turning cutting board. And then everybody was like selecting things, and once it turned around and it stopped in front of me, smoked salmon. It's my favorite, but everything what I cannot eat.
Yes. So yeah, we were very lucky to get that spot for you, but this meant also your diet had to change for some days, and that we had to organize ourselves in a way that we are not 2 people taking care of Minnie, but only one, since maybe you're better with that, as is your part of your expertise.
Yes, actually, it's my background, so I'm very happy to talk about it. But
so some nerd talk coming in now.
In a nutshell, so the thyroid cells are they are having an iodine receptor, and they are accumulating
this is how deep you want to go. Okay.
iodine in your body, and this is what they use for treatment, that they give a radioactive isotope of iodine, and this is going to stick to the leftover cells, and then the radioactivity kills the cells. But this means that your body accumulates radioactivity, so basically you are giving beta and gamma radiation to your environment. Like, the others are not going to carry it, but they are getting the radiation. And the exposure is very dangerous for children under 6 years. And also, actually, I was told to distance myself from adults for 2 weeks from the therapy. Like, I should have kept 2 meters of distance. I'm saying I should have kept because actually we kept 200 kilometers.
Yeah, we're good in overdoing things, right?
2 meters, and in a way that even regular walls are not really giving a shadow for this radiation, because the gamma radiation goes through anything. And also, like, in case somebody is close to me, then I should have reduced the contact for less than 2 hours, and afterwards also airing out, and like I should have eaten in a separate time as you did, and so on. So best choice was to go to 2 different households.
Yes, and so we did, and then it was actually a lucky case that it was directly after Easter, where you had to go to the hospital for 5 to 7 days. It was then at that time said. Our daughter could just stay with my parents. First, I also planned to stay myself, but then I took the chance that nobody's at home to just relax at home alone. I took vacation and I made a little training camp for myself. I needed to recover a bit from all these things that were going on in our life, because it was quite heavy on me, I have to say. I think we talked about it, that I take it quite good, not easy, but okay. But in the end, it accumulated also in my mind, the whole situation.
You showed me an image that, getting back to our previous discussion, it was very fact-based, really much representing what are the options. And actually, these options are not really options. Like, there are steps we need to go through and get to the point where we all want to be. And this way, actually, you were the strongest one in my eyes. I didn't know that this is so much intentionally built, to be honest. Like, I mean, I saw some signals that you have much, distraction or much to take care of at the same time. But in my eyes, you kept everything more under control. I understand you needed a break. And actually, I think it wasn't even about training. It was really about you needed to distance yourself from all of the facts.
Yeah, I have to say that the emotions are not really present. Like, it's not, I do not panic or I don't feel it really that I would panic or that I'm upset or sad or about the situation, because I just feel there are facts, it's science. What is behind, it's medicine, and I believe in that, and that's fine. But there are the circumstances that make it a bit harder, because it's under the surface. There are always the what ifs. So there are situations that can happen that are not so fortunate. Then also, when we met people and we told the story, it was always like this super sad look in the eyes of the people, and they're asking, yeah, and how is it? And I mean, it's nice, and everybody just wants to offer support. But in the end, I was feeling always like I'm overseeing something because of this reaction. I think these impressions coming from the outside were distracting me from being just confident about the whole situation. And it's just also good sometimes to take a break of these things. And I do not allow myself so much to take breaks, but there I was really having the idea, and then I was so much into it. I was really alone at home for 5 days, and I met nobody else. I was just at home doing things in the house and training, and that's it. And I went early to bed, and I tried to establish a new routine for the evening so that I can sleep better, because this was quite off before that. So I was not sleeping good anymore, which was also a sign of that it's deeper than you can see on the surface. And then I went back to my parents and met my daughter and my parents.
And you also didn't meet any friends?
And there I also did not meet any friends. No, I needed really to focus on myself.
And also you worked from remote. But like you can say it was a training camp, but I think training was also only a tool to process what happened. Because like when you are biking out there for hours or running out there for hours, like your mind is going, right? I mean,
yeah, sometimes I listen to podcasts and sometimes not, and sometimes I'm just thinking and sometimes not. So it was just good to be free and flexible. I think I missed this feeling a bit.
Okay, now let me go to a proud moment after Easter when we said goodbye to our daughter. We expected some drama and some hard farewell or something. And there was a bit of need of processing the information, but we said bye, and then she wanted to just walk us out with the grandparents, and she understood that she stays, we go.
Yeah, she said ciao, she was waving, and then they went in and it was all fine. Oma and Opa do very much what she wants, and we have a child with a very strong will. She trained that will very much over that week where she was alone there. And so, yeah, I found them, I mean, in a good situation. I think they were really fine. It was all good, happy life with a grandchild around. Everybody was happy, and then I was coming, and then a bit the chaos began. And then there it was starting with the Nakabati will, because then she wanted to push also through with me, and that's two sides not so good. So I also have a strong will, but I don't try to push it on her. But as an adult, you have some responsibility. And then she also, on the other hand, had the grandparents doing everything she wanted, and suddenly a mom that is like the usual mom behavior, and she was a bit confused, and I think she tried quite much and quite hard. That one day, I think it was really the last day after 7 days, that I said, this is a terror child. I don't know what shall we do, but this is a terror child. But I have to say, and I don't know, I think you think it a bit different, but as soon as we arrived back here, she was completely like before again. I mean, with all the development behind that she did in the 2 weeks, but she was quite okay.
I was thinking about it, and I can completely confirm. And actually, you can correct me because I was not there. So I was in isolation. So I'm just like building up the picture, the image in myself, according to the information I got from you. So it's all assumptions.
Funny that you say that now about yourself.
Yeah. But the point is, I think, so how I analyze the situation, that for me now it's clear what is the difference between the role of parent and grandparent. And the grandparents were parents before, so they know that they need to step into the parent role when they are with their children. Other than that, they are not going to be followed. They simply cannot educate the children if they are not in the parent role. The parents are not the friends of the children. They are the parents of the children. It's completely different. But when you become a grandparent, then you can start everything, because like from spoiling the children as you want, because things are going different at Oma and Opa. So like they can give all the sweets, all the goods, and also like they can break the rules, and anything can happen, because they are the funny grandparents. And this is where the confusion came, and this is the hard thing. So. When someone who regulates meets someone who does not, or do not regulate at all, and you are at the same time in the same place. And to be honest, like according to these analytics, I can also like connect back for our role, like mom and dad, because we also had similar issues. So when I was on a certain principle or topic less regulating, then she felt the difference, that we are not representing the same.
That's true, and she's very empathic, so and feeling or sensing all the tiny changes in behaviors and so on of people. So she's immediately confused then, and then she's tried to push through, and she's testing, and which is completely normal in that age. I think it was just quite energy consuming, I have to say.
And also you become completely confused in that role, because then you get to the question that, do I need to regulate also my parents? That they're going to represent what I want to educate my child on? Or like, how can we handle this?
Yeah. And then also you get into discussions or fights with them, because there I was also having a very weak moment where I then pushed it a bit on my mom, and I feel so super sorry about it, because it was not at all her fault, and they take so good care about her, and they do really everything that she's a very happy child there. So, and our daughter very much enjoys to be there. It's just the look from the outside, or as a parent on the situation, was a bit tough for some days. And actually I hoped through the week that I could just go back home without making a topic out of it, but in the end, on the last day, it exploded somehow. I don't know. Yeah. But how did you feel about your isolation?
It was so full of action that time was flying. The hardest thing was being logged in, because I had to spend my time for a good 5-6 days in a 5 square meter room. And when anybody came in, I had to stay behind the lead wall, not to put anybody under danger. The cool thing is that in the clinics there's a Wi-Fi, and like I made many calls and many people reached out to me, so this took a lot of time away. This way time was flying. And the other major topic I could take care of, and I was editing the first 3 episodes of this very podcast we are recording now. And this became so important, because this was the only useful work what I did, that like sometimes I was like, why people now, why are they now calling? They're just taking away the time that I could work. And then,
I'm happy that you had some distraction.
I mean, this is also typical for me, right?
Yes.
From the radiation, I didn't really feel much. So it's not like how people imagine chemotherapy, and that it's an immune suppressed status where you feel very bad and so on. This way it went very good. I even trained 2 or 3 days, and I was so surprised. The food was good. I even enjoyed the food.
Yeah.
Everybody was super friendly. But the other amazing thing is that like the first and the last days I had to go to the diagnostics, and how many people are queuing there.
Yeah. I mean, I did not see it, but what you told was quite much.
Honestly, the hardest thing was being away from my family and staying in one room. That when I was let out for a walk, it was so amazingly good. like fresh air and like freedom. I could walk anywhere. But then since I was like laying for 5 days, I got so tired. Anyways, I was tired all the time. Like since I'm lacking this hormone, I'm always tired and grumpy old man and so on.
That's a good outlook for the next years.
Yeah, sir, this is what I will become in hopefully 40, 50 years. No, I won't live that long, but
Yeah.
was it so shocking?
What?
The grumpy old man.
Yes. I know this tendency of yours, but a lot of these behaviors came out recently in amplified way. This is the word that I'm sometimes really shocked. Yes.
So you're afraid of the future?
I think the sudden change or the sudden increase of it was shocking more than when I will learn it now the next years that you will be that way. So
I will have a hard time to get back to work, I can tell you. And like also I was away now for 2 months, and like comparing to the times when I was on paternity leave, I was away for 8 months. I think now this will be harder.
Why?
Because I was really not meeting anyone. Only calls and messages. And you know, like that you can like choose when you are ready to answer those calls and answer those messages. But when you're sitting in office, people are just coming. And also like during the paternity leave, I got to the point when I was in need of social connection, and it was like feeling good to go to I don't know, the display time, baby treff, and baby swimming, and just like chat a bit with people without any purpose. Currently, still at a point of separation that I'm enjoying myself, not meeting anybody and not talk to anybody. And I have to push myself to go back to society when I'm completely antisocial.
I see that tendency, and I'm also having this at the moment, because with this topic I think it's sometimes hard to get out, and because you are immediately talking about your own situation as well with friends and your connections, and maybe you don't want to, and maybe you fear this a bit, but in the end it's a tendency of yours that after all these longer times at home you have a very hard time for the change coming. I mean, there was the COVID times where first you were super upset that you had to stay at home. Then you were super upset that you have to go back to office. You could not imagine that you are meeting people there again. Then, okay, for the paternity leave, you were looking forward to stay at home. Then now you say you needed this social connections, but you did also not go back to work, or did not want to go back to work and change the situation. And now we are the third time in the last 8 years in this situation that you have to go back after a longer stay home period. And I think you will manage.
Yeah, I just do not like changes. That's the issue.
Yes, that's the issue.
And now that you came up with this topic, like when I'm able to talk about my situation and also this illness what I had or have, one thing I really hated when I told someone and people started to panic, and at the end I needed to calm down and comfort the people that everything is going to be fine, everything is going to, do not worry. True. Like, come on, it's happening to me, not to you.
Yeah, but I think there we ask too much from the people. I think I would also not know how to react, and people just want to show that they are with you. So that's why I think it has also to do with our profession, that we are taking the facts and we are educated on these things. So what is cancer? What is the spectrum of it? And we can put it into context. What is your illness? Whereas not everybody has this, and we cannot expect this from everybody. and nobody knows how we are dealing with it. So they just want to know. They want to be nice and polite. And on one hand, I also understand, and I encourage everybody to contact us and to ask back. But I think in the first place, you don't know how to deal with it yourself. But there was a funny story I have to tell, that your colleagues were sending you a picture in a group.
But
and
this was super sweet.
It is very sweet, and it has nothing to do with feeling sorry or just getting the pity or whatever. It was just super funny because you absolutely did not know how to deal with it. There was, I think the picture was that the group of people was standing in front of a whiteboard with written "Get well soon."
Exactly, this was the picture.
And no name, and it was sent in a group. And one person was missing on the picture.
Yeah,
I mean, the person could have taken the picture, of course, but this did not come to your mind. And you were texting me and saying, "Shall I react? Do they really text to me here? There's no name."
Yeah, and I was overwhelmed. You know, I like in that chat group, this, I mean, since I'm in there, this never happened before. I also thought about it, that it's for me. And I was like, I also couldn't like immediately process my emotions. Let's say that way. And also like some of the colleagues are even refusing to take any pictures or be part of a group picture or something.
And suddenly they were on the picture.
And there was a group picture, and this is so sweet.
Yeah, that's really very sweet. Yeah.
So there's hard to process, and there was no name. Fact. So
it could have been anybody, right?
Yeah, it could have been anybody.
Who would, I mean, you're the only one being away for 2 months now, but...
Yeah, but, you know, I also didn't get the news. Maybe, something happened to someone. Anything could happen.
Yeah, I also think so. Okay, but let's get back to your situation. So then you came home. How did you get home? I never asked you, actually. How was the train ride? Because you had to go by train.
So I didn't. I go to details, and now I tell the story fully. I didn't rush. I shot all my questions to the doctor. This I really much enjoy. Actually, that they were open to answer anything, and I got an answer which I could understand what is happening all the time.
Here I have to quickly interrupt with a fun fact about you and me. When we go somewhere, no matter what's the topic, I have basically 0 questions, because I think everything through before, and I Google a lot and so on, and I check it out and read and listen to things. And János is the one who's shooting all the questions at the one person. I'm always thinking I have to be already an expert when I get there, and you're like so much enjoying asking all the questions. This is a big difference between the two of us.
Yeah, I'm using the experts. You become the expert. But actually, since I told my background, they were also calling me and showing the images they did with the diagnostics, and I could see the data. It was super interesting, actually.
Yeah, I mean, okay, this nerding around comes in as well.
Anyways, so I shot all my questions, and this way I had very tight time to get from the clinics to the railway station. I missed the train at the end. But then I took the chance to buy Leberkäse, which I couldn't eat during my diet. And then I took the next train, and what I had to take care of, this 2 meters of distance from pregnant ladies, children, and anybody more than 2 hours. The train ride was 44 minutes altogether. So what I did, actually halfway, I changed the seat to the other end of the wagon. In the other 20 minutes, another group of people got the exposure, which I'm also sorry for. But also the point is that by that time and that day I was tested. Basically, this is the reason I was let go home, that my radiation was under a certain limit. Then I came home. I took the bus from the railway station to home, which was directly there actually when the train came in, and the bus ride is I don't know, 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was at
Something.
home, and I laid down and I slept 2 or 3 hours. I was so tired.
Such an exhausting journey.
Since I do not have the hormone, almost every day I need 1-2 hours nap at least. Of course, when I did a walk and fresh air and like coming out from that room, it's like, yeah, I was tired.
And
But
how
it
was it then to be at home alone?
The flat is super strange when it's empty, I can tell you. But at home, I made myself busy as well, and this made the time flying. I was also happy because we had more calls when I was at home than when I was in the clinics, because I believe you had less trainings, you had more energy for some calls, so I got a bit more input. Also, I could go to the studio and do music. Since I'm at home, I'm writing now the 3rd song. I even have ideas. Somehow it's creative time.
Yeah, this happens when your mind is more free from
And
work.
I take the right decisions. So like there's some experimental ideas, new sounds and stuff which goes to the direction why I like to do music. So it entertains me much. And also I had the great purpose to get fit again, because actually we have a festival appointment. I have a good 6 weeks to get stage ready again. So did I answer your question?
Yes.
About the...
I was just confused that you say we called more, but actually you talked more to your daughter, because I started to give her the phone, and she's talking now on the phone to you alone.
Yeah, okay, so this is the point where your question is going. It was super hard. It was really hard. This is why I made myself busy, that my mind is not going the circles, that I'm missing out. Actually, if I have fear of missing out in my life, or if I ever had, that's any minute, second, hour, day what I'm not spending with my daughter and my family. Because on one hand, children are developing super fast, so you can miss out so much. And the other thing is that I wanted to so much fully in on parenting that when I have to miss out something, that's very hard for me. So like also when it turned out that I have to go through this separation due to radiotherapy, my very first thought was that I cannot meet my daughter for 2 weeks. The point is, how could I then sell it to myself? Is that, yes, but this is only 2 weeks. In order, I can meet her 20, 30 years more in my lifetime, which is more important.
This is really, a good motivation and much more important.
So it was very hard alone, to be honest. And only because of the separation from my family. And when you are at your home, where you are like wired in a way that they are always around, like 24/7, and from one point to another the flat is empty, that is so sad.
I don't know, I feel different. I enjoyed these in the end it was 5 days that I was here alone so much. I was happy to reunite in the end, but this little break was really, really good for my mental health, actually.
For me, like the flat was empty, so this is also a good reason to go to the studio.
But then you could also use the time, at least for you and for music, is maybe also sometimes good. And my feeling is often that I know that we are your first priority and this will never change. But I think also to recover, to be not so tired and so on, you also need some time for yourself. You just don't see it when we are around. Then you're then it's more a force for you to separate in that way that you say, I go an hour downstairs into the studio.
Yeah, but you know, the difference is that I took those breaks regularly, not cautiously as a decision of mine, but because I needed to go somewhere. So I needed to go to Hungary. Then there was
Yes.
I don't know, like the year before the renovation of your parents' house, for a weekend I went there to help out and so on. So like in every second or third month I needed to take 1 or 2 days, and even though the purpose was not that I take a break, I needed to take a break, and this way I didn't get to the point that it's overwhelming for me.
That's maybe the difference between us, because I'm less out, I would say, like completely gone.
And when I was away, you stayed with Minnie, so
Yes.
that's the reason.
Yeah, and before now you were in the hospital. It also happened, but less, because the years before, I mean, in the first year, not so much, I think, but in her second year, or when she started Kita, you were then on business trips sometimes. You were in Hungary. We were out with a band. All these things, and I did not do that so much. It was for me last year. We brought her, so there we were, the two of us here. And she was with my parents for a week, and then I was on a business trip, but that's it.
Yeah, also when you wanted to take that weekend for the class reunion, then I broke my finger and you had to take me.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, that's true. Because you had such a big cast that you could not
Change the diaper.
So of course I take you with me. But that's just as a summary. I would say that I was less taking these little breaks. I have, or this longer breaks, let's say, because I have more little breaks because I do my trainings more. But I'm more around like all the time. But it's not a comparison. It's just why I was so much in need of this. And actually, from our characters, we are also in this way different, that I always needed more to have, so these me times more than you would need it, also before we got parents.
Yeah, I remember when I gave you the space by going to the studio.
Pattern stays the same. Almost 14 days passed by and we came back. How was that for you?
And that was super awesome. So you came back on a Sunday, but actually the time limitation when I could meet Minnie was coming Monday morning. And on this reason, when you came home, you just went in the flat with her, put her to bed, and in the meantime I was in the studio. And then while you went to bed, I was packing out the car, and I only met you in the evening, and we all met together Monday morning afterwards. But that breakfast together, what I'm used to, which is very valuable family time, was the best ever.
I can
With regular food, and I was preparing so much. I was so excited that you were coming home. Like I was cleaning, and like I also, my afternoon nap was disturbed that my mind was around that you were coming home. I was like a child waiting for the Christmas present the day after
I can imagine
the Boxing Day. And also, like I was preparing the days before. Every day I did something with the flat where we never had the time to do. So like, I know, installing mosquito nets and repairing the wall and whatever.
Yeah,
So
and you cleaned, so the flat was super clean when we came.
I just wanted to surprise you and like give you the comfortable home feeling. And then I was thinking about keeping Minnie at home, because in the Kita there was this help me with the disease.
Hand, Mund, Fuß.
So there is this disease actually still going around, and I thought that she should stay at home, that we all get sick. But she was missing so much the nursery school that she had to go. And like when she was in, she immediately forgot who was around. So then and actually this is also kind of a proud moment for me. This is what we also talked through during dinner today, that she was not missing us so much that she would have needed some time dedicated with us, because she was very happy to meet. She did this happy bunny jumps when we have met, which was super cute and feeling super good. But in 5 to 10 minutes, this was over. Then she turned to the person that, like, everything, all the values, what I'm relying on is again in hand. As it was told, I was picked up and everything happened as it was told. So comfort, confidence, and she went on her journey further and explored the world again. And this is so amazing. And also, I mean, as a parent, you want to be the favorite one. You want to be the beloved mommy and daddy. So on one hand, hurting, but on the other hand, you also want to have an independent child, which is like hard to say in the age of 2.5. But actually, she's independent. Like seeing this, also thinking about that she was 2 weeks with the grandparents without big drama missing us, or like we would have needed to jump in on anything, or
I was
emergency
also
call.
Actually, I thought when we call you video phoning that she would be so much missing you that there's a drama. But when I said, okay, let's say bye to daddy, she said bye, and that's it.
Actually, she was happy to go because then after a while the video call is not interesting.
Yes, but it's just like, do not understand the mind of a 2.5 years old, and I would say this is just an adult thinking that when you miss somebody from seeing him on the video, but there's nothing. But it was also very cute. She missed home.
Really?
Yeah, because you could not really feel it over the last days, but when she realized that I packed the car, she was just saying to Oma und Opa, "Ciao, ich gehe Kufstein." And that's it. And then she wanted to go. And we even left the place half an hour earlier than planned because she was ready to go and I was ready to go. And then we went, and she did not sleep the whole drive, which is now a new trend and a bit exhausting. But it worked out well, and she was really happy to come here. She came home. She had to investigate everything, if something is new, if something changed.
Please tell again what you came up with in a car.
The game. Yeah, we were cheering for every bridge coming, because I mean, entertaining for 2.5 hours was tough. Okay, there was help by
from the driving seat.
Yeah, from the driving seat. There was help. She had Tiptoy. She had some cookies to eat, but then it got boring, so I turned on music. We listened to radio very loud and we're singing. But then this was also boring, so we were cheering for every bridge that is coming. And this was helping me through the last, I would say, 40 minutes, yeah.
And this could have also turned out very bad, because like she was car sick for a few times.
Yeah.
So awesome job. Congratulations. I'm very proud of you too.
Yeah. And we had to stop 3 times for her little dragon, which she threw on the floor, but yeah, it was fine.
But also you mentioned something that she was a bit afraid that she's going to left behind. So she really No,
she just wanted to go.
Wasn't she following you during the day or something?
No. It's very funny. I have to say this now, and you will hate me. But you're always telling about the person that they are only knowing pictures and making up their own stories, and you are sometimes very similar to that. I was bathing her in the afternoon and everything went normal and nothing, but then when she realized that I'm packing, she just said, "I want to go to Kufstein."
Good to hear. Even clearer now the picture.
Now you can rewrite the story in your head.
Yeah, but to be honest, like since you are at home, we did not really have much time to talk.
That's true, yeah.
So now you have your next competition, which is like weekly again, 6 trainings, but also with double trainings. You are also working. We didn't talk.
Yeah, and you're in the rehearsal.
And actually, this is where I wanted to get when we were talking about. And sorry now to jump back 2 topics before that, connecting to the point when we talked about the roles of grandparents, parents, and the confusion which might come from a regulator character and a non-regulator character. That actually this represents our family time and our common time, what we spend together very much. And you can prove me wrong when this is just a theory. We can regulate her better when we are alone with her. So also when
that's true. That's
the 3
true,
of
yeah.
us are together is harder, because like there might be that the same principle is translated for her in a different manner, and this way she tries to get away or like find the weakest spots of the rules where she can get away in a different manner how she imagines. And I think this is because and this is what we miss from our couple and family life, that we do not have much of this.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this is a deep dive into equal parenting. In the end, what it means for me is that the mental load is shared equally, but what it also means is that not one person is giving the structure of the parenting or the expectations of the parenting. So I have a certain imagination, for example, about how I would like to educate her. I mean, we talked about this already, but I would be able to think it through completely, but then my mind is always very full. So I have to, or we decided on that as well, that we split it half-half. So some things that are for me important, I think about, and some things the other half you're thinking about. But then we have to talk it out, and we have to find our way to have one line. And I think this is super hard, because of course you're not really going into the theory of educating a child when you're having a family time. You just intuitively do it. Then it comes to situations where things are not done as you expect. Then you're talking or even fighting about it. Then, or the other way around, you're just doing it your way, and I'm like disappointed, or I think, okay, it's not how I imagine. But there, to find the fine line somewhere in between is really a tough thing. Whereas when somebody mostly alone gives or takes over a big part of the education or the childcare, you give more from your ideas to the parenting style, and it's easier to adjust. And that's one of the things I think that we had to find out over the time, and I think we got a lot better already.
I also think so. But to be very honest, I think it's impossible.
Yeah, there will be always points where we miss out.
You cannot talk through every point what a child tries, because you're an adult. You are thinking about different things than a child does, and how the youngsters are seeing and how they are going to try you. So you can try to talk it together with your partner. How are we going to handle this? But it's impossible to cover every situation and cases.
Yeah, I mean, this has everybody, I think, but I'm really convinced that this is one hard part of this trial of equal parenting that we're doing.
The thing where I wanted to get with the time distribution, if we could change that, we have more common parenting time with her, then I would say then the issue would appear when one of us is with her. Then the regulation would be there lacking, or there wouldn't be enough practice that you could do it right.
I don't think so. Anyways,
like I don't know, like we can play with the thought, but so my wish is, if we could change something, actually, that there's a bit more together time. But at the moment, I still don't know. This is why I'm happy for this podcast.
We are talking things out. Yeah,
and you see now there are topics since like you are at home for a week now and we didn't talk about.
Yeah, that's true. Not everybody publishes that, but yeah, we do. So this is the discussions we have.
Hard.
This is the word.
No, it's not hard. Actually, I think it's just different how you imagine parenting.
But how did you in the past imagine that?
Yeah, I had like always and about everything this pink cloud.
Yeah, this is, I don't know, you're so romantic, having so many romantic imaginations about life. This is sometimes very shocking for me.
Cute, sweet, like until they turn 4, you can put them anywhere, they will follow and so on.
Yes, exactly. You are exactly not describing your daughter.
Sleeping through nights.
Okay, now there we are now.
Yeah, but if you think back about the zombies we were in the first half a year.
Yeah, true. But yeah, I think I had a very clear imagination, and that's why I always knew that I cannot be part-time or with a low number of hours going back to work and taking the main part. This I knew already, but for you, I think you're always in this. You had head in the clouds.
Yeah, but I get this rosa colored cloud. Anyways, they are just moments, because nobody is talking about how demanding it is that you need to always be in motion, because like you have to take care of your child, your partner, your family, your household, your work, your hobby, your pull yourself together, your parents, and like everything is happening not according to the planning. Because also like when you were previously an early decider and like scheduling up your complete year in a calendar, now you can do that, but you have to change it every day then, because you have to adjust who is sick, then you have to adjust that how the weather is, and then what are the other options, and then they say like there's so much improvisation is needed.
Yeah,
but I'm getting the pink cloud. It's just about the pink moments.
The pink moments. Yeah, that's true. Now I lost the thought that I had.
I'm talking so much.
No, it's okay.
I didn't talk for 2 weeks, so I'm taking the chance.
No, I get it all. No, it's gone.
Sorry. The beer is getting warm.
No, what I wanted to say now the thought is back now with your beer. What I always imagined, that we will get married and we will settle here, and that life, or that we have this calmer life where we have also time to go after work to cycle around, having an ice cream, be just more here, but somehow we are always so much still everywhere but here. You know, that we build more the life here, but we are so dragged away still, and this is what I imagine. This is the only thing that I imagine differently, and that is at the moment not there yet. So, but maybe it comes now, hopefully.
Yeah, I think this year had to pass that the immune system is in place and we are not sick all the time, because we just needed to take care of our connections, because every break from illness was used to give the chance to the family to meet our daughter, and that's it. That was consuming all the free time when we were not sick.
Yeah. And here are so many nice places, and I would just like to use it more this year. And I would also, just to follow up the second big topic we had about my mental health. So obviously I'm talking different now. So I'm saying the only thing I miss is that we are a bit more settling here. I think this is quite a development from the big fight we had, but maybe this I can explain more in detail in another episode.
But then let's sum up with our favorite exercise, best and worst parts of the latest times since the previous recording.
Do you have a worst one?
The worst one for me was somewhere, I think, the 3rd or the 4th day in isolation. When weekend was coming, then I didn't know if there will be a doctor during the weekend, and I was not sure when will I be let home. And it started to be too much to be logged in to that single room. And I still didn't know yet the results of the diagnosis, if there is any metastasis. So there was one low point in that clinic room where I just wanted to get out so hard. I was even thinking going out on the window. And I could have, because the building was renovated, and there was this tent next to the window.
So there was an escape plan already building up in your head.
Yeah, but the window was locked. What was the worst for you?
For me, the worst part was definitely the meltdown on the last day at my parents', when everybody was not in a good mood anymore, and our daughter did not want to try on a dress we needed to buy. And this was really a really bad moment. And actually not that I was upset that she was behaving like that, but that I was letting everything loose and I was going on to criticize my mom. This was a very bad moment for me.
I can understand. Let's go to the best moment.
I had a lot of, I think I should start because I had a lot of good moments. So
good to hear.
Really, I mean, your MR results, then having this little break and training camp was a good one. That I'm still training for some weeks without being really sick and having a break. Just some exhaustion, but that's fine. But the very best moment in the last weeks, I think it will be a bit surprising for you, but was when I went in the morning for a run, and then you brought our daughter to the daycare, and you were then afterwards sending me, I think, an audio message that she was proudly telling there that mommy is running, and she's running fast.
Okay, then I'm very happy that I sent you this message. Yeah, and it was how you told it.
It's just so nice for me because I really feel now that she's really proud, as much as she can be with 2 years, that I'm doing sports and I'm going for this, and this is so much confirming me in continuing, because she knows about it, that I do these things, and she likes it very much, and she also want to go running and so on. So I think this is really makes me really proud, and it was a really happy moment for me. And about you?
I'm very happy to hear, and just to react on this. But since you do not believe me, it's from time to time I'm highlighting some points, and I'm very happy that this became one of your favorite points. My best moments, I already mentioned 2. One is the MR. This was such a relief. Then the other point was, this I didn't mention, the very first video call from the clinics when you called me. And then she was, I don't know, like getting so much hyped on the video call when she saw me, that it was so nice to call to Minnie. Because also I saw it was after, I don't know, 3 or 4 days we've met latest, and she started to talk much.
No.
When was it?
It was the second week when you were at home, because you did not have a call with her with my parents.
Oh yeah. So it was like about 10 days after separation. Yes. So she started to talk so much, and she started to tell me that you were shopping, and she got a balloon, and a clown was making the balloon in a dog shape, or I don't know, but she started to tell a story which was not there before, and this is so cute and such a warm, happy moment in my eyes. And of course, the reunite and the first breakfast and the happy bunny rabbit jumps. This
The happy bunny rabbit.
This was super cute.
Okay.
Let's close.
Let's close. Yeah. We just wanted to say, if you like our podcast, you can always leave a comment. I think you can also at some platforms leave a star rating, and you can anytime contact us via my Instagram account, LalaLeni.
Don't forget to press like, download, and repost. Thank you.